Now the review we've all been waiting for. Arrow Season 4, Episode 5, Haunted. This episode was sweet for me. And I'm going to go ahead and shout out, this might be a biased review because the show Constantine was fantastic. If you haven't watched it, show it some love, watch it on the CWC. So hopefully Matt Ryan will be able to get his own show back once. There's been rumors that Constantine will eventually come in the form of Constantine or Hellblazer, a new TV show to the CW in 2017, put out by Bleeding Cool, which I'm still holding out. That website's very unreliable sometimes, but at the same time, it has predicted some stuff. But John Constantine, played by Matt Ryan, he is one of the only actors where I can say, when I think of Constantine, I think of him. You know, like it's like Stephen Amell. When you think of the Green Arrow, you think of his portrayal. When you think of the Flash, you think of Grant Gustin. There's a few people. When you think of Iron Man, you think of Robert Downey Jr. There's only a few actors who are like that. When you think of Ash Williams, you think of Bruce Campbell. I mean, when you think of Bruce Campbell, you think Ash Williams. There's so a few actors that are so good at their roles that that's all you can see them in. Matt Ryan's one of those actors, and he just kills it in this episode. He keeps the same, John Constantine attitude, the same, quirkiness, and it's really funny how he interacts with the team in a few episodes. Now, flashbacks got interesting this week. They added John Constantine to the flashbacks, which is a sweet idea because flashbacks, they wanted to make it more interesting, and that's definitely a way to do it, and it's a way to explain Oliver's tattoo, which actually comes into play later in the season, and so Constantine gave it to him. So the whole flashbacks with Constantine and then the whole present storyline with Constantine are great. The flashbacks were really interesting this week, and the present day storyline was fantastic. Sarah's going crazy through the city. Sarah's, they're like, what? Sarah's alive? Oliver's like, what? I know who we need to call. It did seem a little bit, like cliche the way that whole worked out, but I mean, it was done so well. So Matt Ryan comes. Of course, he does a ritual. They had to go inside her mind and save her, and eventually in the end it works out. But it's so great because you have the normal Arrow dynamics with all the normal Arrow drama and stuff, and then Matt Ryan's Constantine portrayal just like cuts through it all. So, and then when he's sword fighting, it's hilarious. And of course, the director who directed the Constantine TV series is in this episode. So there's a lot of they have this Constantine soundtrack come on when he first comes on screen. It's pretty great. I will say this is one of my favorite episodes of Arrow ever because I'm biased. My bias score would be like 10 out of 10. But giving a realistic score, a few parts of this episode did seem rushed. I think Constantine should have been on screen more. Felicity's whole thing trying to get Ray Palmer back seems a little bit, off to the side. Laurel was okay. She wasn't cringe, so that was good. And the flashbacks did get a lot better, and I love that. Constantine, Matt Ryan's Constantine needed this episode. And this episode provided exactly what he needed. He got more screen time, millions of viewers saw his portrayal, they liked it. So I think he got it accomplished, what he needed to accomplish, and hopefully he'll be on Legends of Tomorrow, or he'll get his own show later. But he killed this episode, and the Ollie Constantine dynamic was awesome. And it opened DC's CW verse he opened it up basically to the supernatural, which was sweet. I mean, who's better to have than John Constantine to open up the DC universe to the supernatural? So, great episode, great character development, awesome cameo. Give it a 9.5. This was a standout episode this season just because Matt Ryan's back. Not only that, but the flashbacks got interesting again, and the supernatural scenes were really, really sweet. So, this, I would have to say, this episode was one of my favorites. I'm biased, but whatever. So this has been a review for Arrow Haunted, one of my favorite episodes, because Matt Ryan's always got a place in my heart as Constantine. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. I hope you've enjoyed this review. I enjoyed this review, and I enjoyed watching this episode.